Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a story that really, it completely blurs the line between ancient myth and cutting-edge science. It's all based on this incredible book, The Cosmic Serpent by Jeremy Narby.
So the story kicks off with a totally rational, by-the-book scientist, you know the type. He thought all this indigenous knowledge was just superstition. That is, until an experience deep in the Amazon just completely shattered his reality. All right, let's set the scene. Our main character is Jeremy Narby. He's a Swiss anthropologist, and he's in the Amazon rainforest studying the Ashaninka people. So Narby shows up with that classic Western mindset, right? Science is fact, everything else is just folklore. He's there to study their knowledge of the forest, but he's got this air of scientific superiority. And when a shaman tells him they learn about medicinal cures by literally talking to the plants, Narby just scoffs. To his rational mind, this is just madness, total superstition. And this right here, this is the core conflict he's up against. You've got two totally different ways of seeing the world. On one hand, the scientific view sees nature as an object, something to be analyzed, controlled, dissected. On the other hand, the shamanistic view sees nature as a subject, something you communicate with, you build a relationship with. And for Narby, at this point, well, only one of those could possibly be true. So, to really get what the shamans were talking about, Narby figured he couldn't just be a spectator. He had to dive in. He makes this incredibly bold decision to participate in their most sacred ceremony. And that ceremony involves something called ayahuasca. Now, this is not a recreational drug, not at all. For the shamans, it's basically a key to what they call the University of the Jungle. The idea is that it kind of peels back the brain's reality filter, opening a door to the spirit world where they believe real knowledge is found. So guided by a shaman, Narby has this experience that just, his scientific vocabulary had no words for it. He sees these weren't just snakes. They felt intelligent, like pure living information. It was like they were flooding his mind with data, showing him life at a molecular level. And the craziest part? It felt more real than reality. Definitely not just some random hallucination. And just like that, his whole scientific certainty, gone, shattered. He's left with this one burning question. What did I just see? And that question, it completely derailed his worldview and sent him on a 10-year-long quest for answers. Okay, so this vision is haunting him, right? Narby starts digging, researching like crazy. He has to know. Was it just him? Was his experience a one-off? Or are other people seeing these serpents too? And what he finds is just shocking. He uncovers this global pattern, the Cosmic Serpent, and get this, it's often in this double intertwined form. It's a universal symbol. You find it in ancient cultures all over the world. We're talking cultures separated by vast oceans and thousands of years, and yet they all linked this exact same symbol to life, to knowledge, to healing. How is that possible? Really, how could they all know the same thing? It's this massive global mystery, and it seems to point to some kind of shared ancient source of knowledge. But what on earth could it be? The whole thing just seems impossible, you know? It's a coincidence that's just way too big to be a coincidence. And then, years go by, and Narby has his big eureka moment, in the last place you'd ever expect. He's just reading a biology textbook, and he sees an image that just stops him in his tracks. It's identical. Identical to his vision in the Amazon, identical to the ancient myths from all over the planet. It was the double helix of DNA. Think about it. The shape is a perfect match. It's this ladder-like structure twisted into two intertwined serpents. And just like that ancient symbol, DNA is the source code. It's the ultimate source of life, of information, of creation itself. And this leads him to his really radical, totally mind-bending hypothesis. What if these ancient cultures weren't just making up stories? What is in these altered states of consciousness, they had somehow found a way to directly perceive a fundamental biological reality? What if they were seeing the information coiled inside their very own cells? Now, as wild as that hypothesis sounds, it opens the door to even more incredible possibilities. It starts connecting these ancient shamanic descriptions with some really cutting-edge science. Okay, remember how the visions were made of light and how the shamans talk about seeing ropes of light? Well, get this. There's a phenomenon called biophotons. It's this faint but measurable light that our own DNA emits. So Narby wonders, could they be literally seeing this biological light? Like watching a live broadcast from their own molecular code? This idea also completely challenges how we think about the brain. The standard scientific model is that the brain is like a computer. It generates consciousness. But what if it's more like a TV set? A receiver that tunes into consciousness, which is all around us. If that's the case, then maybe ayahuasca doesn't create visions, maybe it just changes the channel. It switches our brain from normal reality over to, say, channel DNA. So, where does this leave us? What does it all mean? Well, this huge cosmic story that stretches all the way from ancient myths to modern molecular biology, it actually brings us back to a really profound and very personal truth.
Check out this number, 3 billion. That's how many genetic letters are in the code that's packed inside almost every single one of your cells. Right now, as you're listening to this, you are carrying an entire library of ancient information. The whole history of life on Earth is inside you. And the serpent's ultimate message here is all about interconnectedness. And listen, this isn't just some poetic, nice idea. It is a hard biological fact. The DNA of a human, a tree, a fish, it's all written in the same fundamental language. So when a shaman says something like, "I am the forest," they might be expressing a deep molecular truth. We are all cut from the same cloth, written from the same code, which means that harming nature is, on a very real cellular level, harming ourselves. So maybe the cosmic serpent isn't some myth out there in the jungle. Maybe it's in you. What is it trying to tell you? Narby's journey really suggests that the deepest truths about the universe and our place in it, well, they might not be found by looking out through a telescope, but by taking a journey inward, into that intelligent, living code that connects us all.